Hello everybody, and welcome to the next Vanheim part. The elfing has begun. I was able to reach Enchantment 3. I found no magic sites. Marignon is continuing to troll me. And let's check out all of these battles. Most of them aren't very interesting. They're just against province defense. But oh, this is actually Agartha trying to take this province a second time. Did I see his bless before? Well, if not, we'll see it now, I suppose. Yeah, so he's got decaying weapons and blood surge. This is what decaying weapons do. It's kind of nifty. I don't know if it's the best choice on shard guards, but I've watched people play MA Agartha, but I don't actually play it myself. So we don't get a miracle shot this time from the archer, unfortunately. And yeah, don't win. Do not win that time. Let's see what's going on in the Troll Peaks. Oh, interesting. I'm actually using Jade Maidens for this battle. That's cool. Yeah, I mean, when they're blessed, 18 attack skill? Or defense skill? This is not... Yeah, this is pretty cool. It's not incredible, you know. It wasn't recruited at the capital, but even still, it's decent, for sure. It's actually a lot of horse tribe, though. He casted aim? Why the hell would he cast aim? I was a little lucky killing the commander on the flank there. That was the target. Didn't lose anyone there either. Wow, this guy's so fast. Even with 11 melee encumbrance. Yep. He had no PD in this province, so that was pretty nice. And then on Pythium itself, see how much PD he put back. So these are all the troops I'm gonna have banging on the walls. Yeah, I think this is just like 10 PD or something. Hopefully I didn't take any friendly fire. Yeah, I did. Yeah, there were a lot of javelins being tossed. That wasn't as well scripted as it probably could have been. Without any human troops. This is also another fortress. This is Pythium's second fort. See, this scripting was much better. Did not just run directly headfirst into the enemy. Oh, I guess I did. Still lost a guy. And here was a battle in Jotunheim. Jotunheim actually sallying forth to meet Vanderus. Unfortunately, Vanderus has nothing here except one guy. So, if there was a battle, didn't get to see it, but this is probably most of Jotunheim's mage core here. Not really any items on them though. Looks like he's got his communion ready to fire. Oh well. And this was my last battle against Pythium, actually on the Agarthan side of the river. And this is just Marignon storming in. There's not really anyone here, so not going to be much of a battle. Although Marignon is using, like, almost entirely, like, generic indie shit. This commander's actually retreating. I mean, do these archers, yeah, they have decaying weapons on them. I see. I was like, why are all of Marignon's units decaying? And with that, Ind is not no more. They still do exist. They still actually have a number of fortresses. They actually repelled Marignon over here with some army. But probably not likely to stop Marignon. Also, this fortress is getting sieged by a gore-tide horror. Yeah, interesting things going down in the south. And Micklin fought a battle with Abyssia. I didn't get to see it. I didn't get any data from either of the players, unfortunately. But over here, everything's going great. I was able to take every single province that I wanted from Pythium. Pythium's army remained here on the fortress. He actually stuck around to break the walls. I don't know, as the attacker, how much damage I'm doing to the fortress. So you can see it has a wall integrity of 300. And the amount of siege strength I have in this province is 118. So you subtract 118 from 300, and that's how much damage you deal. With the malice of any defenders inside the fortress will subtract from your siege strength. So that's basically why I'm taking all these units and I'm shuffling them to Pythium proper, because I don't really care to siege down this one fort over here. It looks like it was just like an Animus province or something. And he hasn't had it up for a huge amount of time. So I'm moving here to just claim this as soon as possible, to break down the walls before this army can get here, and take this fortress before the army gets here. And also, furthermore, Pythium has no money anymore. Like, his income just, like, drained to almost nothing. Probably somewhere around 100 gold per turn. I mean, maybe it's not that bad, but it's pretty low, whatever it is. It's very bad. So there's very little chance that he can afford this army, because it's just too expensive. It's filled with, like, a lot of, like, shitty indie stuff, and also some more, like, temporary units, like gladiators and stuff. So I was thinking, like, even if he retreats the army back to Pythium, he's going to take casualties along the way just from his units retreating, his men giving up and fleeing the field of battle, which is not even including the units that are on Pythium, inside of Pythium, and the Moss Woods fortress at the same time. What am I doing? I'm building a castle over here. I'm building a lab and a fortress. I'm building a lab and a fortress. I have a lab and a fortress down here. I'm recruiting another mage. I'm building a lab over here. And I'm recruiting a Vanadrot in my capital. I'm casting Seeking Arrow at Pythium. Presumably to assassinate any of the old mages he's got inside. So if we look at his mages, yeah, the Archtheurge. So he's an old man, which means he takes some penalties to his stats, including reducing his HP. So he goes from 10, which is what a normal human has, to 8. And if you don't know, Seeking Arrow does it does 8 armor negating damage to whatever target it hits. So there's a very high likelihood that if this arrow hits that type of mage, he'll just die immediately in one shot, which will be a very expensive loss for Pythium. I just have to hope that it actually, he has some valuable targets inside here. I have no way of knowing if he does or doesn't, and even if I did have the magic to do it, my research sucks. So Like, I just got my big advancement at turn 23, which is outrageously slow. I got enchantment 3. Super bad. My research is very, very not good. And it's mostly just because this infrastructure has not gone up when it should have. I've just been banking a lot of money. But yeah, I don't think there's anything too much to say. It's now just, it's a bit of a race to put down, these are all the units congregating on Pythium, to put down as much siege strength on Pythium as possible to break the walls in time, so that way I can siege the fort without the enemy army collapsing on me. If all of these units combined, when moved on top of Pythium, gave me enough siege strength to crack the walls immediately, I could then storm the fort on the turn that this army would enter this province. Right, so like if all of these units moved onto Pythium, this army would be here in 253, because he can't cross the river being human troops. Then he'll be here, and I'll have cracked the walls here, and I'll tell all my units to go in and storm the fort, and he'll be moving here. That's the hope. You know, the hope is that I'll have enough siege strength to break the walls. I don't think I will. Yeah, because, I mean, I think it'll be, like, probably pretty close. I think it'll be, like, close to 200 siege strength on my end, but he really doesn't need very many defenders inside the walls to seriously handicap my ability to siege Pythium. And I am recruiting mercenaries to help me break the walls. I should have already had these guys. I should have already, you know, like the Far Strikers, that would have been a great mercenary company to get, and then just walk them onto the capital this turn, because, you know, that could make the difference. There are all these units down here in 188, all these human troops that I could have sailed over the lake. Yeah, I mean, I think maybe they could have done it in 2 turns. I guess not. No, probably they couldn't have done it in 2 turns, but, you know, there was just different ways of going about what I did. But, you know, even with the potential mistakes made, still worked out pretty good. I'm putting, like, no PD in this province because Pythium will surely retake it. I mean, his other option is storm the Sagarthan fort and hope that he wins, but without his capital, like, he can't recruit his most powerful units, he can't recruit his most powerful mages, his gem income is ruined, like, this is his most valuable province, so if he loses it, he's kind of dead in the water. This is something you have to look out for if you're playing against an elf nation, is that at any time, your entire country could just pop like a balloon, pop like a melon, pop like a bubble. And that's what precisely happened to to Pythium in this moment. Otherwise, this war continues. Yeah, I mean, Agartha, or Abyssia lofts that province. Jotunheim is continuing to hold this, even though he's actually recruiting the long dead giants. Or I say recruiting, he's making them. Even when opposed by Zabalba and Vanarus, he's still holding on. Good for him, honestly. It's quite difficult winning a 2 versus 1. I mean, compared to, like, you know, Pythium's been fighting this war substantially longer, and he may die before Jotunheim dies, if Jotunheim dies at all. I don't really know the situation in this area particularly well. But yeah, it seems like as we are about to end year 1 or year 2, there are clearly a few players who are in a very strong position. Me, obviously. Nabah, who's been completely, you know, left to his own devices. Marignon, who has taken a capital. He is the first player in the game to take another player's capital. And Zbalba looks pretty big, and I mean, I would imagine Vanarus or Phlegra, but just because they don't have like a lot of land to work with, and Ulm owns this province over here, so it's like, obviously they haven't expanded, like, over here. And Mictlan and Abyssia are, you know, I think if just one of them won this war, like, 5 turns ago, whoever came out ahead would be in a fantastic position to win the game. Now, obviously, I mean, that's easier said than done, right? Just win the war faster. But, I mean, of course, I don't know I'm not in the players' heads. I don't know exactly what they were thinking or what their strategies were. But I'm just speaking in hindsight. As this second year is coming to a close, I think it's somewhat clear who the forerunners in this game are and who the spoiler nations basically are. The nations who don't really have a hope in hell of winning the game, but they can definitely make someone lose, without a doubt. And, you know, sometimes when you make a nation lose, you actually propel yourself into a pretty damn good position to claim victory, even when it may not seem likely. So, never give up. That's the end of the video.